Okay, welcome back to Bird Feeding in the West. And with this episode, we're going to look at what to feed birds. And this is mostly in the wintertime or in the early spring and in the fall too at times, depending on what kind of weather you have. There's several different seeds that we can feed birds, but these are the three probably the most you'd ever need. I can't think of any other birds that would not come to these seeds. And so I'm going to show you the three most common, most inexpensive seed to use. The first, this is the gold standard of bird feeding, the black oil sunflower seed. See what it looks like here? It's just black sunflower seeds. These are grown especially for birds. They're not the kind you'd buy to eat in the store typically for people. And so, yeah, these are eaten by all kinds of birds, black-capped chickadees, juncos, even woodpeckers. We'll talk more about that later, but I just want to see that's the main type that probably everybody would use. Another more specialized is called thistle seed. And this, as in the picture of the bag, you'll get goldfinches especially, beautiful birds. And it's a very fine seed compared to the sunflower. And it's much more expensive. So just be aware of that would be more expensive for you. And the third kind, this is called a finch blend, but it's mostly this whitish seed here is called millet. Now this particular blend, they've got some red millet, a little different kind, and also they have some of the black thistle. But I have found this to be really effective bringing in the smaller birds, and I'll show you more about that in a minute. So here's a chart on the back of one of the seed bags I just showed you that shows other kinds of seed that are for sale for birds. And you can see others like safflower. You can buy that, cracked corn. I'll show you suet cakes in a minute. But really, and sunflower hearts. These would be sunflower seeds without the shell. Much more expensive, but it doesn't leave a mess of the sunflower seed hulls like the black oil I showed you before. So this is a pretty good deal for sunflower seed. That is at 40-pound bags, and you get the second half price. And so it's a great deal. However, you've got to have the ability to store it and use it up, otherwise it'll mold over time. Here's an example of bird food that's really expensive, supposedly for woodpeckers. Almost $15 for 5 pounds, but you can get the same result with far cheaper food. Some cheap bird food. It's 10 pounds for only $6.99. But look what's in there: the cracked corn, the red millet. The birds won't eat in most places most of this. Most of it will just be left on the ground to rot. You're far better off just getting the plain millet and sunflower seeds separately. Now let's look at another kind of food for birds that aren't seeds. Some you may think unlikely, such as peanut butter. Downy woodpeckers love peanut butter. So do juncos. The dark-eyed juncos love peanut butter, as well as the red-breasted nuthatch, black-capped chickadee, and mountain chickadee. I've had all those eat quite a bit of peanut butter. And also a product called suet. And let's take a look at those and the kind of feeders that you would put them on. So this is one kind of bird food that is really popular with woodpeckers, all kinds of woodpeckers, and things like juncos, black-capped chickadees. They all enjoy this suet. It's a derivative of fat and other fatty areas around, a lot of times it's beef suet, so it's from cows, but they melt it down and mix it with seed, and it comes in these cakes. They're pretty inexpensive. I get some at Walmart for 99 cents each. Sometimes you'll see them for $2. They do all kinds of fancy stuff too. They'll put berries in it, they'll put peanut butter, they'll put all kinds of nuts, but really I've found just the plain suet cake, it does just about as well as anything else. And I'll show you how to put it in your typical suet little cage that especially woodpeckers seem to like. Okay, let's talk about peanut butter. Woodpeckers, juncos love peanut butter. Nuthatches They all love peanut butter. This is a little peanut butter feeder I found one time that you can just spread the peanut butter there on that little grid. So there it is. The birds don't seem to mind whether it's smooth or crunchy. I try to use basic, simple, natural peanut butter, which is basically peanuts and salt, rather than the cheaper stuff with full of sugar and stuff. Although maybe that would help them. No, I don't think anybody really knows. But anyway, now just ready to hang it up. And just a word about the metal perch. They used to think, and you'll read somewhere, that birds' feet might freeze on these metal perches. I've never seen that. I've seen birds' feet on this below zero. Doesn't seem to ever bother them, and you'd think after at least 30 years I would have found a bird frozen on there, but I never have. So I don't really think that's an issue. Here's a couple of items that are really helpful with no matter what kind of bird feeding you get. You can go to bird stores, nature stores, and even garden stores with a bird feeding section, and they'll have all kinds of expensive things to use. They'll have special containers for your bird seed, but all you need, you can just get at the grocery store or Walmart, is a cereal box, plastic cereal box like that. Store your seed in here. It's much better than the bags they come in because mice can get in the bags, especially if you put them out in the garage and so on. So just get some plastic, we used to call them Tupperware type containers for the seed, and they work fine. But an invaluable thing that you'll get, again, you can probably find them in most grocery stores, is this. It's a seed scoop, and what you can do is you pour the seed in the top, and then you can open and close it using this little slider at the bottom, so you can pour all the seed in there easily, say from one of these cereal containers, and then you can put the narrow end into the bird feeder, push this in, and empty the seed in. And we'll show you what kind of bird feeders this would be used for in a moment. Just again, there are other seeds you can buy. You can blue jays, if you have blue jays, or Steller's jays, scrub jays, mostly in the West. We don't tend to have blue jays west of the Rockies. Sometimes they do show up. But those are, they will eat sunflower seeds too, but they really like peanuts, whole peanuts in the shell. You can feed to scrub jays. You can use chopped up peanuts, and they can be used. Okay, next time we're going to look at the many different kinds of feeders and which are the best ones to buy for the different kind of food you're going to put out. See you next time.